guys, non-binary pals, this is a question that I have been asked probably more, I wouldn't say more than any other question, but it is a it's a question I get asked very, very frequently. And what that question is my thoughts on 75 hard. I get it asked whenever I do a Q&A on my story on Instagram. I get it asked whenever I'm streaming. People are asking about it. I don't know why, but it seems like the past year it has gotten immensely more popular than it has been in the past. Like, a lot of people are very curious about this. It's not even really a diet. It's like a way of living, I guess. So if you're not familiar with what 75 hard is, I'm going to show you guys this little graph right here. So it says 75 hard rules. Absolutely no alcohol, no cheats, no compromise. This is for 75 days, okay? Consume 1 standard gallon of water. Water only, literally, don't add anything else, all right? Perform 2 daily workouts. So you have to do 2 a days for 75 days. And it says minimum of 45 minutes each, spread no less than 3 hours apart. One must be outdoors no matter the weather, all right? So regardless of the weather, it has to be outside. Self-developmental reading. Active reading, 10 pages, take notes. And one of the things about this that I know is that you cannot do an audiobook. So it has to be a physical book that you're reading. Okay? So it can't be an audiobook. And it says follow a diet, any diet. Print it out, hang it up, do not deviate, not even once. And then a daily progress picture. Okay? And then what's also very, very important is any deviation at all, and you must start over from day 1. So if you mess up at all, say you aren't able to drink a full gallon of water, you're not able to do a workout outside because it's negative 15 degrees and snowing and hailing, I don't know, right? If you don't do it, you have to start over. So say you're at day 73 and you mess up. You have to go all the way back to day 1. Like, it doesn't count. Okay? So what do I think about this? So I think that my first thought is that it's unnecessary. It's one of those things that I can see who this would appeal to. You know, the person that is maybe struggling to find motivation. They're maybe struggling to, get themselves going. And I can see why someone would really, be interested in this type of challenge. But the thing is you guys know how I am. One of my biggest things is sustainability. And this type of stuff just isn't sustainable, right? That is 2-a-day workouts. And the thing is it's 2-a-day workouts for literally everyone, right? So regardless of your experience, regardless of your exercise level, regardless of any of that stuff, these rules are for every single person. Now, one thing I do want to say is that it does say in the rules a walk outside for 45 minutes can count as a workout, which I think is great. I think that going on walks is a fantastic form of exercise, and I would count that as a workout as well. But the thing is that it's just so strict that I really think that this could mess people up, especially if you're not in the right place when you start, if that makes any sense. So I actually found a video from a smaller YouTuber that we're going to watch where she kind of talks about her experience doing 75 hard.
Hello everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be interesting. It's the 5 reasons why I decided to quit doing 75 hard challenge. I felt the
Dude, I like that song.
Challenge on day 31 mark and eventually decided to quit. I'm sure that these problems don't even happen to some of the people, but these problems really affect my quality of life and even my health to some extent. Here are the 5 reasons. First, it made me focus on the time and schedule more than the tasks themselves. If you have seen my last video, you may know that I added 2 more rules to the challenge, so my daily schedule is pretty tight.
So I do want to say, to be fair, she did add, I think she added like guitar. She had to play guitar for a certain amount of time every single day. And then also she had to stretch every single day. Okay. So I think that, to be fair, she also did a little bit extra. So,
Somehow, when I was doing those things, I feel like I was just going through the motion. And I was constantly thinking about what I should do next. And it highly affected the quality of me doing those things.
I think this is a really good, this is such an interesting point that she makes here right at the beginning. Because like, you could be someone that enjoys working out or enjoys all of these things that you are like trying to make yourself do. But if you feel like you have to do that and you have no choice, it can very easily suck the joy out of that thing, right? Like if I felt like I had to work out and I wasn't allowed to not, or if like streaming, I love streaming. I didn't stream yesterday because I wasn't feeling well. But if I felt like I had to stream, and like if I didn't, I am no longer whatever you want to call it, right? It would completely take the joy out of it. And I know there's a lot of people like 75 hard, it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be hardcore. Ugh. But it's like, dude, joy in life is so important. And enjoying what you are doing is so important. You don't always have to be grinding 24/7 to be moving forward in your life.
Even the things I used to enjoy, such as taking long walks, became a drag because I wanted to get back home within an hour so I could keep up with my schedule. Second, I couldn't get enough sleep and was tired for most of the time. Because if I slept for a total of 8 hours a day, there's no way I could finish all the tasks. Not getting enough sleep has become my main issue for the last 2 years. It's very difficult for me to stay asleep for more than 5 hours. And that's on a better day. I started to take naps during the day or went back to sleep after breakfast to get enough sleep.
I know this has nothing to do with what she's talking about, but I love when I'm watching like videos like this and there's shots like this because all I'm thinking about is just someone over the bed. Like, all right, just act like you're sleeping, okay? With their iPhone. Just shh, be quiet. I'm come on. Okay, I'm sorry.
And that worked for me. However, with such a tight 75 hard schedule, I didn't have time to take naps. The worst part is that even when I'm tired that I decided to take a power nap, it's hard for me to fall asleep as I used to, because my mind was occupied by all the things that I haven't finished.
Well, yeah, you like feel guilty. It's like you feel guilty for taking a break, basically, right?
Third, it enhanced the all or nothing mentality when it comes to diet. I choose a mainly whole food diet, and I was very good at following the rules I set for myself. However, day 31 was Lunar New Year. I made a conscious decision that I'm going to break the diet to enjoy the day with my friends and family. Because I think having this great time is worth it for me to start over. But the thing is, all of my discipline when it came to food collapsed since that day. My diet became even worse compared to my diet before the challenge.
So, I mean, this is what happens when anyone goes on a diet that is too restrictive, right? Like where it's too all or nothing. Like this is something that happens to so many people, but I think that this is one of the other problems with 75 hard. Why I personally, like, if you want to do it, please, if you want to do it, I'm not going to make you stop doing it. Like, do your thing. I honestly don't care, right? But if someone's going to come up to me, which happens literally every day now, I think, probably about every day, and ask me, should I do it? I personally would be like, probably not, okay? Because the reason is, when you have a diet that it's truly all or nothing, like the 75 hard one is, when it's like you mess up one meal and you have to go all the way back to the beginning if you want to start over, like it makes you literally terrified to eat quote unquote bad foods. And it only for a lot of people, it can only really intensify, is that a word? Intensify the thoughts of like, there are good foods and there are bad foods and there are certain foods I'm not allowed to have. And so I really do think, and you might think that I'm sounding a little like over the top or like bombastic or whatever, but like I really do think it can be dangerous for a certain amount of people. Like I genuinely believe that.
And I couldn't get back to my mainly whole food diet since then. I really should know better. These restricted diet never worked for me. And to restrict for that long without any flexibility is just going to make things worse. I was once again fell into the all or nothing mentality, which historically encouraged my binging behavior and is very unhealthy. Fourth, I was unhappy during the challenge. I lost all the quality time I had with myself, and I don't have time to rest, and I don't even have time to just not think of anything. I was constantly thinking what I can do to squeeze more time out of my daily schedule. I even started to read while stretching so I could kill two birds with one stone. But it just made me stop enjoy reading and stretching. I lost the drive to make video because I was tired. I used to have a movie night every week, but I didn't watch any movie during the challenge. And if you know me, you know how much I love watching movies. Somehow other than the sense of accomplishment, this challenge just took every joy away from my life.
This stuff, I mean, it's sad, but like, this is why it's so dangerous. A lot of like, this is why I don't like when people like, not even just like this whole challenge, but when people prescribe like a diet and they're just like, this is the best diet for everyone. And I'm just like, dude, how could you possibly know that? How could you possibly know what's best for every single person, right? Like, so it's like, be really careful when you go out there and say, this is what's best, because you don't know what people are going through. Like, I'm sure the guy that decided to make this, I think his name's Andy Frisella, I think he's the owner of First Form. Like, I doubt that he thought that this would be reaching a young lady like her and the issues that it could cause. And I would be curious to see what he has, like what he thinks about that and why he feels like it has to be so intense. I'm assuming it's more like you just have to grind and yada, yada, yada. Personally, I just don't subscribe to that kind of ideology. I think that I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should be more of a man and yada. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't think it's necessary. And I think it does more harm than good for a lot of people.
Last but not least, I was stressed because of all the reasons above. I feel like once I got stressed, then the entire challenge has lost its purpose. The reason that I wanted to do this challenge was to build my mental toughness, so I can make the right choice for my mental and physical health. I wanted this challenge to be a plus to my health and fitness journey, but somehow it just made me more unhealthy in almost every aspect.
That's powerful, man. I have to rewind that just a little bit.
Journey, but somehow it just made me more unhealthy in almost every aspect.
Woo! I'm not even gonna say anything. I think that
Physically, I had poor sleep and tired for most of the time. Mentally, I was stressed, unhappy, and went back to the terrible all or nothing mentality. I'm not saying that I didn't learn anything from this challenge. At the very least, I learned how to play bar chords. It's just funny that
that was very sweet. I'm sorry, okay? That made me smile. That was a very good takeaway, okay?
on a pretty balanced diet. My disordered eating pattern was quote-unquote under control. I was having enough sleep, working out constantly, making video in a good pace, and generally happy with my life before I started to do this challenge. All I need to do was to be more consistent in practicing guitar, stretching, and be more mindful of what I was eating. Then I would be happy with the way I lived my life.
I think one of the reasons that it's so enticing for a lot of people to do stuff like this is because as humans, we like to see changes quick, right? This is something that I deal with when I talk to people that are trying to lose weight. It's like they're like, no, I can do it. I can do a really intense diet. I'm like, I know you can. You can do it for a little bit, 100%. But eventually, like I've always said, kind of motivation is a finite resource that eventually you run out of. And I think that happens to a lot of people that probably try this challenge, but just in general, when you try things that are really, really over the top, and especially with this stuff, it's unnecessarily over the top. Like, you can change your life without completely overhauling it and completely flipping it in a day. Like, you can make small changes over time and you will see massive results. You don't have to flip everything right in a day, and then that's the only way. It's not necessary.
However, I decided to push myself to such an extreme challenge and thought everything will be great after 75 days. After all, life is not just 75 days. Even if I finish this challenge, there's still a long life ahead for me to live. and I want to live it in a balanced way. Now I'm on a new lifelong challenge. I'm going to call it the Lifelong Balance Everything in Moderation Challenge.
Nice short name.
I'm going to utilize the disciplined mentality and time management ability I enhanced from this 30 hard challenge, but dial down the intensity. And here's my new weekly checklist. I'm still going to stretch every day, but not timed. Even if it's only 5 minutes, it's still okay. And I want to at least practice guitar 3 times a week. Here's the most important.
And I think that's what's I love that she brought up, like, yo, I'm still going to have goals, right? So I think a lot of people, if you at all are against this type of challenge or anything like that, people are like, oh, you're not disciplined, you're not motivated, you don't like goals. It's like, no, there's nothing wrong with having a goal. There's nothing wrong with pushing yourself. But again, understand that you do not have to push yourself to the brink at every single day of your life. It's not necessary. You can absolutely see changes doing the type of schedule that she decided to make for herself, right? You should not feel bad about not doing everything all at once. And I want to make it clear, in this video, I'm assuming the people that are doing 75 hard have already left a mean comment and they're mad at me. But if you are doing it, I'm not sitting here saying that you're a bad person or that I have a problem with you. I don't care. This video is for the people that come up to me and ask if I think they should do it. My opinion is that I don't think you should do it. If you're doing it and you're having a great time on it, that's great. I'm not saying that you're lying, okay? All right.
Important one, the diet. I'm working my way to do an educated, common sense diet. So what is...
I love that. Educated. I love that word. Common sense diet. I love the name of that diet.
The educated common sense diet? I still prioritize whole food and eating enough protein. I can still eat some processed food and fun food. The most important of all is to use the common sense to portion control. I feel like almost all of my past diet experience has somehow hijacked my natural ability to eat intuitively. I was using way too much rules and tools to try to regulate my eating pattern, and none of it actually worked for more.
Dude, this thing, I don't know if this is her video, but like the whole safe inside of the fridge, I don't know if there's like children in the house or something, but when I saw the video, I was like, what the heck is that thing? It's kind of creepy to me, but I don't know, maybe I don't know.
More than 2 months. This time, for the first time in the past 2 years, I'm going to trust myself to eat in a natural way. Anyway, if you are considering doing 75 hard challenge, hope my experience can give you some alerts so you can proceed with caution. Especially for those who is prone to eating disorder like me. They should choose a easy and balanced diet to approach this challenge. And for those who is already under a lot of stress and those stress had already impacted your health and quality of life, I genuinely don't think this 75 hard challenge is for you at this moment of life. Once again, our life is so much longer than 75 days. Do what's best for you in a long run. If you are in the middle of this challenge and find yourself getting too much of unhealthy stress and negative health impact, it's really okay to quit. If everything's going great for you, then I'm happy for you. I hope everyone can turn out to be the best version of themselves, no matter if you finish the challenge or not. At last, if you're still wondering whether I like this challenge or not, or am I going to do it again in the future, the short answer is I don't like this challenge looking through a health and fitness lens, and I probably won't do it again. I will talk about it more on my next video, which will be more about my personal thoughts on this challenge. That's it for today's video.
All right. Well, all in all, I just thought that really kind of it was a really good visual representation of someone that actually went through it, other than me just kind of sharing my thoughts and stuff. But I thought, and she was very open and honest about stuff, which is always really, really good. So I highly recommend you guys go check her out. I will leave a link down in the description. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I said it a bunch of times in the video. I'm sure you guys are annoyed of it. But again, if you're doing it and you're loving it, do your thing. I'm not here to try and yuck your yum, as they say. But again, if you are someone that is considering it, just really think about the things that were presented in this video, hopefully some of the points that I made, and hopefully that'll inform your decision whether or not you actually want to do it. But all in all, yeah, great video, and I'm glad that we talked about this.